Welcome back. So today we are going to plan a political cartoon. So for today's lesson, you're going to need this. So if you had trouble printing that out or anything, you can always just get a piece of paper and include the information. So no need to worry if you weren't able to print it out. But if you've got it, get it. And so political cartoons have been around for a very long time. They were very popular in the colonial period, and they still are today. You see them in newspapers and magazines all the time. And what a political cartoon is just kind of what it sounds like. It's when you're making fun of a political issue. Usually the person making the cartoon has a definite point of view that they're trying to convey through the cartoon. And they often use symbolism and messages to make their point. Symbolism could be like if you think of the Democratic and the Republican Party. The Democrats, a donkey is the symbol for a Democrat, and an elephant is the symbol for a Republican. So often when you see political cartoons about those political parties, they'll be represented in that way. But you could use any kind of symbolism at all. It just means you're using something that stands in to represent something else. All right. And so we're going to make some decisions today. I thought I would show you this one political cartoon from the textbook. And this one is about the Stamp Act. You can see there, that is a cartoon that someone made to show what they thought about the Stamp Act. It says, place your stamp here, and it's the skull and crossbones. So clearly they're not super happy about the Stamp Act. Okay, so let's fill out this planner. The first thing is your topic. And so think about, what do you want to make your cartoon about? You could choose any of the things that we've been talking about this week with me, or from Mr. Langley's lessons as well. So it could be taxation without representation. It could be one of the specific taxes like the Sugar Act or the Tea Act or the Stamp Act. It could be about no taxation without representation. So think about a particular issue that you want your cartoon to be about, and then you're going to take your sort of stance on it, or your opinion. So is your cartoon going to be showing that the Stamp Act is terrible, or is it going to be pro-Stamp Act? You could think about, is your perspective from the colonist perspective, or is it from the British perspective? If you're from the British perspective, maybe you want to make fun of the colonists and they're complaining. If you're from the colonist perspective, you might want to make fun of the British for all of the taxes that they're making, right? So think about what your topic is going to be, and then write that on that line. I'm going to write taxes. Too many taxes is going to be my perspective. So it's the colonist perspective. And then the symbolism in my cartoon. So I've already been thinking about this, and I'm going to have the colonists chasing a tax collector away, and he's going to be running away with a big bag of money. Okay, so colonists chasing a tax collector, like as if he's a thief. Okay, and I think I'm gonna include like a big money bag that he's running off with. Okay, and they'll be yelling like, stop thief, which, okay. And then what is the message of my cartoon? What am I saying about it? There were too many taxes, or there are, present tense, there are too many taxes And then it says, how will you add labels or captions to your cartoons? So labels and captions are just another way to make your message even more clear. So it can work like labeling something that's symbolic just to make sure people understand what it's symbolizing. I was thinking about this, and like, let's say you wanted to make fun of King George, and you could, instead of drawing a king sitting on a throne, you could make like a pig eating at a trough, and it could be like, that's representing King George, but you'd want to make it clear that that was King George. So maybe you would label the pig King George on the side and put a crown on him or something. You could also have captions, so have them saying something, like maybe you decided you wanted to make fun of the colonists. You were doing the British perspective, and let's say you had the colonists be represented by babies, and the babies were crying, and that you could make captions that said, well, too many taxes, or something like that, right? So think about how you might add captions or labels to your cartoon. I am going to label the money bag taxes. And let's see, I think I'm also going to have the captions. I'm going to have my colonists yelling slogans like no taxation without representation, things like that. Okay, so that's how I'm going to use captions and labels. And then it says use the space below to make a rough draft of your cartoon. I don't know why it says use the space below. Clearly I've got a big box here. It's the space above. So in this box here, you're just going to do a quick sketch of what your cartoon is going to be. And so you can see what I mean by quick sketch. This guy is going to be running off with a big bag of money that's going to be labeled taxes. Yeah. And then I'm going to have a bunch of colonists quick sketch again, and they're gonna be yelling like stop thief, no taxation without representation, and he's taking all our money. Back to England. Okay, so it's a quick sketch, all right? So get this completed, give it some thought, and then tomorrow we're gonna actually make the cartoon. All right, good work. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.